What's something your employer did that instantly killed employee morale? Part 1. Let's fucking go. I work in a big corporate building. The same old lady came by everyone's desk towards the end of the day to collect the trash. Just the sweetest lady ever, and every time she'd walk to my desk she'd give me a big smile and ask me how my day was, and chat for a minute as she got my trash. Usually I'd dump it in for her. I had some rough days, but she has a way to cheer me up and send me home on a higher note. I know I'm not the only one either. So then a few weeks back our work implemented a new policy to cut down on trash usage. It's no longer allowed to have a trash bin at our desk, and we have to walk across the room and use the community trash to throw anything away. Not a huge deal, but the real reason they did it is so they can cut down on cost to the cleaning crew. Sad to say that I haven't seen Sharon since. Boss pitched a sales incentive trip to Cancun if the team hit the goal. My team exceeded the goal, and then they canceled the trip. 2 people quit, accepted a position with their main competitor, and less than a year later, they closed in bankruptcy. Calm as a beach. We're moving manufacturing overseas. And all we do at this facility is manufacturing. Yep. Never seen a less productive or less motivated workforce. And it was announced over a year before the move too. Would have been better for the company to just spring it on people with 2 weeks. Although props to them for giving people a chance to find new work ahead of time. This school wanted to switch to Chromebooks. So what did they do? One summer while teachers weren't working, they removed every single Windows station and replaced them with Chromebooks to be issued to teachers. They were told to figure it out. When teachers came up and asked how they could teach Photoshop, programming, AutoCAD 3D modeling, etc., admin basically Googled their program name plus Chromebook extension and told them, see, there's an extension for it and it works. I don't think I have to add that it did not work. They ended up bringing back the desktops for most teachers. Small business. 20 employees plus minus. Boss made a big speech about austerity measures and no raises this year. A week and a half later he drives up in a brand new Silverado with all the bells and whistles. Expense to the business, of course. He would hate to have to pay taxes on those profits. One of the less subtle members of the staff took a literal shit in front of his office door. Put up a poster that said complaining is like vomiting. You feel better, but everyone around you feels sick. The morale was already bad, but it was just a shitty way to take a hit at upset employees, rather than do anything positive. Telling employees that they are going to fire you if you don't make more sales. Then when someone quits, tell them, nah, that was just motivation. We were never going to fire you. I told the hiring manager that I was disappointed in one of his hires because he knew literally nothing about our job and asked him, doesn't that cheapen my knowledge and expertise? His response, well, let's be honest, your job doesn't really need all that, does it? There were 4 other people my level with varying fields of expertise at that meeting, and it got real quiet after that. I once had a retail manager who sent out a memo that we worked so hard and did such a great job this month that she gets a bonus. That went over like a lead balloon. They banned phones, electronics, puzzles, books, etc. from being used at your desk. I work at a call center. We were expected to just sit and wait for the next call to come in, distraction-free even if it was a super slow day. Former teacher. The administrators at my school were usually pretty chill, but had a habit of randomly coming up with minor rules that they would enforce for us. Male teachers had to wear ties even on Jeans Day, etc. Overall it wasn't bad, except for the time an administrator made a crucial mistake. They banned staff from drinking coffee in front of students. Now, if you've never worked in a school, you'd think this isn't a big deal. When you spend nearly 100% of your day in front of students, it definitely is a big deal. First, we tried to find any loophole we could. Energy drinks, banned the next week. Tea, banned 2 days later. It was chaos. Eventually, we realized they couldn't fire an entire school's worth of teachers and aides, so we ended up doing the one thing that private schools fear most. We formed a union. Realistically, it was more of a weird pseudo-union focused specifically on civil disobedience regarding the coffee issue, but it ruffled feathers nonetheless. The administrators caved to our demands, allowed us to drink coffee again, and even bought each of us a reusable coffee mug as a gesture of goodwill. And that's the story of how a handful of school administrators almost accidentally created a teachers' union over a complete non-issue.